What is unique about insurance in India?
Well, unlike a lot of markets, India is unique in quite a few ways. For one, customers speak multiple languages. So therefore, when you indulge in digital transformation, you need to ensure that you're catering to customers in the language that they understand. So I think that's something which is really unique about India. Secondly, the insurance product still continues to be a push product, in the Indian context. The penetration levels are about one third of global penetration levels, and therefore, there is a need to take it forward. Uh, in fact, people have done research. Research scholars have come and told me that a lot of people have a fatalistic, bent of mind, in the sense that they tend to believe in fate and destiny, and therefore, they may not, feel the need for insurance. So I guess these are some socioeconomic factors you have to deal with, when you're in the Indian context. On the other hand, I think India is digitally very advanced because India has leapfrogged several nations in terms of its digital assets. So there are a lot of folks, whom we call born digital natives, who are people who have, for example, never been to a bank branch and would have carried out all their activities on the mobile. And India also happens to be one of the youngest nations in the world. So I think the combination of youth and digital savviness also, makes it ripe for insurers, from a digital disruption perspective.
Mm.
So I'd like to pick, these three aspects: multilingual, fatalistic attitude, and youth combined with digital savviness.
Yeah, that's interesting that the multiple languages. I mean, how many languages are we talking about here in India?
Officially, India has, nearly 20 languages. But if you look at dialects, if you look at, the number of languages that, people speak as well, I think India has, hundreds of languages. In fact, I
Wow.
think it's very difficult to put a number on it.
Wow. I mean, 20
And
languages alone is
yeah, in excess
incredible.
of 20, in fact. Yeah, because Will, the way India is geographically split is on the basis of language. So for example, if you go to the south, right, you will see Kerala, where the language is Malayalam. You go to Tamil Nadu, where the language is Tamil. If you go to the east, you have West Bengal, where the language is Bengali. If you go to the west, you have Gujarat, where the language is Gujarati, right? And then you go to the north, right, where a lot of states speak Hindi. So India is linguistically very diverse.
And how does that affect doing business in India?
I think on the one hand, Indians have been very, very adaptable.
Mm.
So I think there are enough people who speak the language of their choice when it comes to consumers, because most players have a national presence. So we have offices where we have colleagues and distributors who speak to customers in their local language.
Mm.
So to that extent, business is not difficult to
Mm.
come by in the multilingual context, because players have figured out how to do business in this context.
Mm.
On the other hand, when we go digital,
Mm.
in fact, we won an app. We won a global award recently for one of our apps, which was launched exclusively in Indian languages. I think that's where we feel the need, because English tends to be the default mode of communication. When it comes to creation of digital assets, I think increasingly players are realizing the need to be multilingual, and then they can expand their scope and reach. For instance, when we launched our app recently, we launched it exclusively for crop insurance customers in the rural parts of India, and we launched it in three Indian languages. The response has been phenomenal. The app has a rating of 4.6 on the App Store, and we won the global EFMA Accenture Award. And it gives farmers a range of services. So increasingly, as players are realizing, that we can offer services in multiple languages, I think customers will come to the party.